poisoning. Third bacteria which we are dealing with is Clostridium perfringens. It is found mostly in animal products like salami, sliced meat, chicken, etc. through contamination with feces. Okay, so the animal feces are the main reason for this Clostridium perfringens growth. Okay, so it is very important then when you are dealing with food items which are related to animals products like salami, sliced meat, or these kind of things, then you have to be very careful that you keep these things clean. Don't keep it in the danger zone for a longer period, more than 90 minutes. And doing all these things can avoid Clostridium perfringens. Cooked meat, gravies and stews are mostly affected. Cooked meat kept in danger zone for 90 minutes and above can definitely invite these kind of bacteria. Okay, the symptoms uh, of food poisoning due to Clostridium perfringens as abdominal pain and diarrhea. It occurs between 8 to 22 hours after food consumption. So once a person has had his food, after 8 hours he might see these kind of symptoms, abdominal pain and diarrhea. The last bacteria is Listeria monocytogenes. This bacteria is unique in nature as it can grow in refrigeration temperature also. Okay, I'm saying refrigeration temperature, I'm not saying refrigeration temperature is above 4 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is still in danger zone. It gets killed during cooking. So once you cook something which is affected by Listeria, so the Listeria monocytogenes gets killed. Often found in curd, soft cheese, etc., where no cooking occurs. So we need to see that these food items like curd, soft cheese, etc., will definitely have Listeria monocytogenes. Listeria contaminated food can affect whom it can affect. It can affect children, old people, and those whose immunity is weak. So if a person is less immune, we have to make sure that these kind of foods are not served to those guests. Okay, so we are done with the bacterial food contamination or bacterial food poisoning. Now we are moving to the next topic, that is chemical food poisoning. Okay, so how chemical food poisoning occurs? It occurs when the chemicals accidentally contaminate food. Okay, it may occur due to the following reasons. Chemicals spread on vegetable and fruit during cultivation. Zinc poisoning occur when acid food is stored or cooked in poor quality enameled or galvanized vessels. Lead poisoning may occur due to contact of lead pipes with water. Application of pesticides in goods storage area may also lead to poisoning. Okay, so here we need to understand chemical food poisoning, how it occurs. That there in if you see in the farms, in the place where the vegetables are grown, so what a farmer does to avoid various types of pests, he uses a medicine that is called as pesticides. So what the pesticides does, it kills those insects or those pests. So the outcome is he gets a good his vegetables in good condition, which is sellable in market in a higher price. Okay, but where it is leading to, actually it is leading to food poisoning. How? Because when this chemical or the food which is contaminated with pesticide is cooked by the chef in the hotel and served to the guest, what a guest is consuming is food along with the pesticides. I mean the food along with the chemicals he is consuming. So when he is consuming food with chemical, what it will lead to? It will lead to food poisoning. So same way there is insecticides, there are pesticides, there are it can happen through zinc poisoning when acidic food comes in contact with zinc. Okay, and it can also occur when the pipes when the water is comes in contact with the lead pipes. Okay, so this is all due to the due to some contact of chemical with the food item. or the chemical with the food or water, whatever things we consume actually. It's not only food, it's water also, because we do consume water and it can also lead to food poisoning. So the basic thing is food poisoning through chemical means it will occur due to some chemicals which are used on those foods and not washed, not cleaned properly by the people who are cooking it, by the chef or someone who's serving it, and consumed by the guest along with the food. Chemical consumed by the guest along with food will lead to food poisoning, and it will be called chemical food poisoning. Okay, now we have seen what is bacterial food poisoning, what is chemical food poisoning. Now there are various ways to control these bacterial growth. Okay, first thing we'll see in bacterial growth, there are 4 factors that are essential for controlling bacteria. Okay, so there are 4 things in which we need to see how bacteria grows. So if you control those things, automatically the bacteria growth will be stopped, it will get killed, and there will be no more bacteria in your food, and it will not lead to any food poisoning. The food will be very safe to consume. So the 4 essential controlling 4 factors are essential for controlling bacteria are temperature, moisture, time, and right type of food. Discuss this one by one now. Temperature, it is one of the important factor. Okay, as we know, the danger zone temperature is between 4 degrees Celsius to 63 degrees Celsius. This means if a food item is kept between 4 to 63 degrees Celsius, this is a temperature zone which is ideal for the bacteria to grow, to multiply, to develop. Okay, so do not keep food item in this zone for more than 1.5 hours or 90 minutes. If a food item is kept between 4 to 63 degrees Celsius for more than 1.5 hours or 90 minutes, the food will start getting contaminated. Bacteria grow rapidly at 37 degrees Celsius, that is at body temperature. So that we are at body temperature, and definitely when the bacteria are growing, we are full of bacteria. That's why it is said, always said, that keep washing your hands. Every hour a person must wash his hand, because in an hour time, in a 90 minutes time, the bacteria will start growing. At low temperature, bacteria neither get killed nor multiply. So what happens when you keep something at low temperature? It doesn't mean the bacteria gets killed. Yes, but it will not be active. Okay, they become active once temperature rises. So when you keep something, the food items, in low temperature, what happens? The bacteria will be there. It will not die. It will wait. Once you rise the temperature, it will become active, and once it is in the danger zone, it will multiply, it will develop, and will lead to food poisoning. So we have to make sure that we don't give a chance to these bacteria. Moisture. Next thing which is important for the bacteria to grow is moisture. This is one of the most, you can say, this is a food for the bacteria to grow. Okay, this is an ideal condition for the bacteria to grow. Moisture is necessary for bacteria to multiply. If there is no moisture, a bacteria cannot multiply. There's no chance for a bacteria to multiply. Bacteria cannot develop if deprived of moisture. If a food item is there and there is no moisture in that food item, there is no chance that bacteria can develop in that particular food item. Bacteria does not grow on dry fruit. Okay, so any dry food item, if you keep, there is no chance that bacteria will grow. But if there is any moisture in that particular food, there is chance that bacteria might grow in that particular food item. Ideal food are sauces, gravies, custard, etc., etc. So food items, as we can see, these are all food items with moisture. So you think of any food which is having moisture, you think of bacteria growing there.